We get a 1, personal space, 2, personal space, 3.
Hey, hello listeners. This is just a quick disclaimer for this week's episode. As anyone that's listened to the show before knows, there can be some adult language, and anyone that's listening for the first time, please keep that in mind. We tend to be ourselves and not filter, so occasionally a bad word might come out. If you have any children in the room, please put on some headphones or have them put on some headphones. Thank you.
That I don't even care about this. I'm not even interested in having this skin on my personal space.
You're listening to the IDP Guys with Sean, John, and Nathan, the Wizards of Fantasy Football. Your go-to source for the individual defensive player strategy. And now, 3 guys who could only make an NFL team on Madden.
All right, welcome to the IDP Guys. This is episode 119. My name is Nathan, and I'm joined in studio, our new studio, with Johnny.
Hi. Hello.
And we got Sean on his favorite form, video.
Hey.
Yeah. So here we are. You can find us on Writer Digest Network on the YouTube channel to get our pretty faces as we go through the season. With that, let's jump into the question of the week. How bad is your fantasy problem this year?
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Part of that is Sean's fault for all those quarantine leagues. But yeah, I counted. I'm at 20 Dynasty, 10 redraft, 40 best balls, 8 college if they do it. Many DFS per week, 2 survival leagues, 1 pick'em. How about you guys?
I don't know. I'm not counting. I'm over 22 at least, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're in 20 Dynasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm significantly over that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather not count. I just kind of look at the leagues and look at my teams and send out offers and make roster moves and don't worry about how many I'm in.
There you go.
If I'm not worried, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly don't even count those sleeper leagues. There's so many of them. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep up with them. So really, I'm counting about 4 dynasty leagues and maybe 2 redrafts. Really kind of trying to be light this year because who knows what's going to happen. And I've just got other life stuff to worry about.
Am I going to have to kick you out of these leagues?
Probably.
God, you are the worst kind of person. You are the worst kind of person. Yeah, like 15 days before the season starts after you already drafted your teams.
Drafted them in March, yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta go find somebody who wants to take over your teams.
Are you ready to take your fantasy draft to the next level? Order your rookie draft guide today covering 122 rookie prospects in both IDP and offense. A collaboration between your favorite analysts. Pre-order at idpguys.org and dynastyfootballdigest.com.
This week's news.
Alrighty, very extremely news intense week. It starts great and then it drops off a cliff very quickly. We'll start with the Everson Griffin news. How about them Cowboys? And how about Everson Griffin coming to them Cowboys? This was great news. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Reactions from the rest of you.
Yeah, I like this. It's not a bad landing spot. I'm glad that he got rostered. I was a little worried there for a minute. Yeah, I have him in a ton of places, so I'm glad that he made it somewhere.
Yeah, I think I was just waiting for it to finally happen for him to land somewhere. Now just the question of where does Jadeveon Clowney land?
Yep, we'll get to that. There's more on that to be seen, or down the line here, rather. Earl Thomas released after punching Chuck Clark in the face. I have breaking news. I know where he's going.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to Philly. Because it's the city of brotherly love. Doo-doo.
Wah, wah, wah.
No.
Thoughts?
Move on. Next news.
No, but seriously, I've seen that there's, everyone wants him to go to Dallas. I'm good. I'm all set. Would you guys be interested for your team?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We talked about this a little bit last show, but it's official. Big Ten and Pac-12 shit canning their season. Big Ten to try again in the spring. We pretty much knew that was going to happen. George Kittle signed an extension.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
Cool.
I mean, we saw that coming. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge deal for San Francisco. It's obviously unprecedented money, but I think we knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting story I saw the other day. Eddie Skidmarks Jackson to play some, quote, zebra wide receiver on offense. Does this seem like anything more than coach speak? And
zebra wide receiver, does that mean he's tackling referees?
Yes, that's exactly what that means. No, you'd have some offensive snaps.
If I'm the Bears, I'm very concerned about my season after hearing this news. Like, if this is where they had to go to generate some offense, I'm good.
Well, what do you think about Jamal Agnew going to wide receiver?
I think that he's not going to make it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is generally not a good thing ever when you have defensive players on offense. So not great, but I thought that was interesting. Okay, Bills coach Sean McDermott signs an extension. Congratulations, Sean McDermott. Kenny Clark also extension. Congratulations, Kenny Clark.
Mm-hmm.
According to ESPN's Kimberly A. Martin, Clowney declined multiple offers of $15 million plus and is sticking at $20 million as his price point and not coming down. Concerning to anyone owning Clowney.
Yes, very.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's going to have to settle for something, right? Like, this is just not doable.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of money he's going to miss out. Like, imagine if he just wouldn't come down from 20 to like 16 and then he just misses the season.
Yeah, that would be insane. I saw Tennessee made an offer around 16, 17, or that's, was out there anyway. We'll see. He's got to sign somewhere, though. That'd be crazy. Just miss the season. Speaking of missing seasons, Gerald McCoy had a great couple weeks with the Cowboys. Then he ruptured his quad tendon. He is out for the season and has been released. So pour some out for Gerald McCoy. This was unfortunate. Not the hugest loss, though. I mean, he hasn't been the Gerald McCoy of old in quite some time, I feel like. Reaction?
I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot of IDP relevance there anymore. And I think the fact that he's just outright released is probably not great for his career trajectory at this point.
Alrighty. Speaking of bad career trajectories, Des Bryant supposedly tried out for the Ravens. I haven't heard anything after that. Have you guys?
I can't imagine that he's going to get another job. I just don't see it.
Alrighty, that happened. Trey Wayne's torn pectoral will miss majority of the season. That's too bad because he actually is an IDP relevant corner. He gets picked on a lot. You guys ever play any Trey Waynes?
I don't, because I still tend to avoid the cornerbacks that are only getting their production because they're not very good. I try and just avoid that in general, so I don't think I have any Trey Waynes.
I feel like usually see Trey Waynes on the waiver wire, and he's like a streaming pick.
Yeah. No, if the matchup's right, absolutely. Darrell Henderson, leg injury. Cam Akers takes some first-team snaps. I mean, I didn't read that it was like a significant season-long thing or even a multi-week thing. Do we know any more?
No, I think it's day-to-day. This news is just out there to hype up Cam Akers.
Yeah, sounds about right. This one is slightly more concerning. Javon Hargrave to miss, quote, significant time with an upper body injury, may miss the first few weeks of the season. This is not great because this guy was a DT that was on track for a great season, I feel like, anyway. What do you guys get out of this?
Yeah, he wasn't like in contention for the top DT, but he was definitely in that upper tier, and this definitely hurts in a lot of circles.
Right, and there isn't a lot of DT IDP relevant, anyway.
No.
So this is not great. Also not great for the Eagles. Derek Barnett, iffy for week 1. I forget what his injury was. I think it was a lower body thing. But their defensive line is down 2 of its studs going into week 1. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm not a big Derek Barnett guy in general. I know a lot of people really liked him going into last year. I just don't see it. I didn't like him as a prospect. I thought he was overdrafted. He's been one of those guys that people want to be a thing every year, and he just doesn't get it done. I don't know. I'm just out on him.
Yeah, that second part is definitely true. Every year I read something about, this is Derek Barnett's year. Negative. Yeah, I'm out. Also, more bad news. 49ers wide receiver Jalen Hurd, ACL, done for the year. Sean.
This hits particularly hard. I hate it because Jalen Hurd played running back originally, right? And he wanted to switch to wide receiver. He was told that, and he wanted to do that to avoid injury because he wanted to have a better chance at a long sustained career. So he switched to wide receiver, did really well, had to transfer to do that, did really well, came into the league, and now is hurt 2 years in a row despite making all the right decisions to prolong his career, and it might just be over at this point. And I hate that because he worked his ass off to get into wide receiver shape as opposed to running back shape, and he did a really good job of it. Like, his routes were way more developed than you would expect from somebody who's only played wide receiver for 1 year. So this is a bummer for sure.
Absolutely. I believe this is one of your guys also. I could be mistaken, though. Cornerback Robert Alford, torn pec, done for the season.
Not one of my guys.
Not one of your guys. Okay. Who am I thinking of? Byron Murphy?
Yeah, I like Byron Murphy.
Okay. I must have gotten that mixed up. I don't know why. They're not even remotely the same name, but
yeah,
whatever.
Pretty much the same name.
Yep. Okay, Mac Wilson, the one without feats and meats, hyperextended knee to miss start of the season, probably more, because didn't he go to Dr. Andrews for a second opinion?
I believe so.
And that's usually not a good thing?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. So, not great for Mac Wilson.
No, I have no idea who's going to be playing linebacker out there. And, I mean, I didn't think Mac Wilson was as good a linebacker as what his stats were last year. So I don't think he's as firmly entrenched in that defense long term as people seem to be assuming, just because, he was a young, productive rookie. But I don't know that he was necessarily a good linebacker, although most of the linebackers last year were pretty disappointing in terms of actual on the field performance. So this was kind of a big year for last year's linebacker class, because this is kind of where you start to separate yourself. If you have 2 bad years in a row, teams generally don't have a whole lot of patience, given that you play one of the cheaper positions and they can kind of start to piece something together other than what they have there, It's like running back. If you play 2 years at running back and you're just not good, you have a lot less leeway than you do at, quarterback.
When you say these things, it makes me wonder how Jared Davis still has a job.
The Lions really like him. I don't know why, but they do. And I wish they didn't.
Yep, I hear ya. Also, more bad news. Miles Sanders, week to week. There's a chance he'll play week 1, though, from what I read. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and Boston Scott is day to day. So Corey Clement and Elijah Holyfield were running with the ones.
Nice.
So I don't know. I think the Eagles' backups are among some of the most valuable backups to have, just because they can produce even when they're not starting. It's like having Patriots. You don't know what's going to happen over there. Obviously, the running back situation over there is a little different because Miles Sanders, I think, is the most talented back they've had there since Peterson got there. So we don't really know whether it was a forced committee approach because they didn't have anybody, or if it was a committee approach because that's just what they do. So that's kind of a wait and see thing. But I think we're going to find out a lot more about it this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. More bad news. Grant Delpit, Achilles injury, getting an MRI. Could be torn, could be done.
I had not heard this. That's
today.
Oh, yeah. Broken the slot.
really crappy.
Yeah, he got taken out on a stretcher or cart or something.
Oh, no.
Yep. So
yeah, that's not good. I hope it's minor because he's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't like to tackle, but super talented.
We're week one's gonna. This is all week 2 news is going to be is injuries. That's it. Week 1 is going to be a lot of offsides, a lot of ACLs, a lot of hamstrings, a lot of injuries. It's not going to be pleasant. One more. Tyrell Williams, torn labrum, out a few weeks, then will, quote, play through it, unquote.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason he's playing through it is because his job's kind of on the line here.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's going to be fantasy relevant.
No, I hear you. There was just no one there last year, so he was decent in a few games. That's it. Okay, a few notes before we move on here. Nate wanted me to talk about this. I took a horrid dookie last week, and I took a picture of it and put emojis all over it and sent it, I thought to Nate, but it was to my mom.
Yeah.
So she got a picture of my horrendous dookie with, stars and hearts and awesome and all these, sparkles on it and stuff. And the caption was like, look what just came out of my soul, or my loose soul, something like that. And
that's why you just don't do that.
Yeah, well, it could have been worse. It could have been my boss or someone at work.
You could have put something like that's pretty tame.
That's
for the
a tame
stuff
caption. That's a tame caption. Yeah, but it did not go to Nate. Is the what happened?
So I remember you told me that you were on your way to see your mom at this point.
Oh yeah, and she was actually not all that surprised by any of them.
Yeah.
No, nobody should be surprised if they get that from you. That's why I just don't open any of the links you send me, any of the photos you send. I just don't open them.
A couple more notes here. Okay, a couple of things. Ben Affleck to reprise role as Batman for the Flash movie. Did you guys see that?
How is this in our news and notes and not our post-show?
Because
talk?
I find it interesting. I'm seeing that. You're seeing that.
There's a trailer. I must have missed that trailer.
No, that's coming. That's not out yet.
I saw the picture.
They announced it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's gonna be 2 Batmans because it's like a multiverse thing. And you know who the other one is?
Robert Pattinson.
No.
Pattinson.
No. In the Flash movie. Michael Keaton.
Oh. Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool, right?
So DC's finally stepping up their game.
They're stepping their game up.
No. Don't assume that. Why would you assume that?
Because they are.
DC, the new Robert Pattinson Batman.
That's next on the list. Looked awesome.
Right, I know it is. It looks really good. But here's the thing. I don't trust anything from DC. Until they give me a reason to trust them, I'm not going to trust them.
Wonder Woman?
And Wonder Woman was good.
Wonder Woman was good.
Aquaman was good.
Wonder Woman still would have been
an average Marvel film. I know.
Yep, I pulled out the list last night. I had this exact argument last night.
Well, there's nothing to argue. Marvel's head and shoulders better, but we want DC to catch up. That's why this is exciting.
More.
Right.
It's like playing fantasy football and only playing offense, and then all of a sudden, you start playing IDP, and hey, it's fun.
Yeah.
And
you can want DC to be better while also not expecting it.
Oh,
I don't expect this to be.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go see it.
Right.
First week,
opening night.
Oh, I'm waiting for reviews.
No, you crazy? You crazy?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Man. How many? Aquaman got good reviews. That movie was not that good. I love calling it. There was some meme a while back just calling it Wet Thor.
That's actually a good description.
Yeah.
I know. I that was not
Wet
worth my
Thor.
time.
I don't know. I thought it was all right.
And the only one that it was fine, but it wasn't worth my time. The only one that was worth my time was Wonder Woman. And then they immediately go to the Justice League and they ruin all of the best parts about her character. And it was just, I don't trust them at all. When they give me a reason to trust them, I will believe it. Because the Suicide Squad trailer looked great too.
No, that wasn't that great. But you also hate everything. So no one should listen to you.
Right.
I like a ton of things. I just don't like DC's movies. I like their comics.
You like Last Jedi, so null and
That's
void.
Done.
All right, last but not least, two more things. I got Ifeadi Odenigbo for $1 in my free agent auction. I just thought you guys should know that. That's insane. We're talking like everyone's got like $1,000,
Oh, wow.
$1,200. I got him for $1. How the hell did everyone drop that ball? I don't get it.
So you probably could have got them for free.
Well, no, you have to pay something.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, $1 was minimum. It was
Ooh.
just to get him on the board, and then the price was going to skyrocket, and I was going to try and.
So this is like
yes.
an auction
yes.
draft.
Yeah,
Not-
but it's
blind
free.
bidding.
But it's waiver wire auction draft. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So this
What's
league-
that through?
This is the Heroes and Villains League,
Mhm.
MFL.
Oh, that's on MFL?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to look into how to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can do auction drafts on Yahoo. Man.
Yeah, you can do them in a bunch of places. But I just thought it was insane that people got $1,200. They're not going to spend $1.50, $2 on Odenigbo. Like,
well,
really?
what I see is like if there's blind bidding, which is like you put it out there and then you hope you get it back. But I find it cool, and I've always kind of wanted to do the whole waiver wire but auction draft, so that like someone puts someone out there, then everyone's alerted to that player and can then bid.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different thing.
That's what this was. It wasn't
Right.
blind though. Everyone
That's
could see
That's
my.
what an auction
Yeah.
draft is.
He's talking
You just-
waiver wire.
Yeah. It's not a startup or anything. This was
not a startup. It's
like
just
a waiver wire.
Weekly auction.
Yeah. So this league's been around for a year, and
Yeah, I mean,
so I just thought that was crazy. Thank you, league mates. And finally, IDP guys, Pick'em League, Yahoo Group ID. Jesus, this is small. 3895. Password is Derwin James, all one word, all lowercase. Come on in. Pick your games. Pick them. And I don't know. We'll give the winner something. I'll give the winner something. I'll buy you a t-shirt. You can shout something out on the show. Whatever.
Yeah.
Come play. Alrighty. And with the start of the new season, there's a rhythm. It's a little weird this season because there's no preseason. But usually it goes, Hard Knocks,
Yep.
Hall of Fame game, preseason game 1 and 2, 3's the good one,
Mm-hmm.
4 is the worst one, and then bam, Thursday night, season starts. This year, we just got Hard Knocks, and it's been different. It's been both LA teams. I think it's been really good so far. Have you liked it?
The first episode was absolutely probably the best Hard Knocks episode I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Start to finish, it hit on everything. It really showed how much they're doing as far as the COVID testing and Corona.
Yep.
But also showed like the human side of like how the team is adapting to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean that first
Montage.
the first montage with like
Anthony Lynn.
Yeah,
Yes.
where coach is just going about like, hey, this is going to be different. It's going to, it's just going to be about who can stay healthiest the longest. Like whoever can make it to the end will be in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, embrace the chaos. And I thought that was like the best line for this year for football.
Yep. So, couple things out of that. So, he nailed it on the head because we already talked about this. It's whatever team's going to adapt the best is going to have the best chance this year. And then McVay in episode 2 said something that I've been saying for weeks now, too. He said week 1 is going to be an absolute show of false starts and penalties and screw ups and blown coverages and easy touchdowns and sacks and all kinds of bad stuff and injuries, So McVay nailed that, and his fiance is freaking beautiful. But notes I had down here: embrace the chaos. Yep, you nailed that. That dude Vollert, apparently got signed by Carolina. Carolina, you guys got yourselves a loser. Cut that dude. He ain't no Antonio Gates. That's for damn sure. Aaron Donald is a monster.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Okay, so first off, remember, what was that, 2 years ago, we talked about Aaron Donald training with knives.
Yes.
And just how badass he is and everything. Yeah. In that first episode of Hard Knocks, he's like worried about the needle.
Right.
And then squeals when he gets pricked.
Right. But he's training with knives.
He's this huge like Hulk of a person, and yet like scared of needles.
Yeah. He's a good dude too. Did you see?
Yeah. Needles are a different animal, man.
No, I get it. Needles. It's just like
cut me with a knife. Don't cut me with a knife. Don't stab me with a needle.
It was just an interesting perspective.
It was. And did you see in episode 2 him teaching the young guys? Like,
oh, absolutely.
That was great. He's a really good like personality.
That was
too.
just a different view of him.
Yes.
Than we've ever seen.
Right, and also someone that impressed me, Derwin James.
Yeah.
Derwin James, I can just hear like soul music whenever he's on the TV. He is so smooth. It's unbelievable. He's smooth as silk. Like unreal.
I really liked that house he was looking at.
Yeah.
And
that was Ramsey.
Oh, yeah. I'm
James had the glasses and he was playing what's that beanbag game?
Yeah. I remember that. That was good.
Yeah. Whoever.
I mean, at least this year, you guys are hyping up on players that you already liked. This is a significant improvement to the last couple of years.
We don't usually hype on like what Twitter does, where they grab someone up and coming and then raise their ADP and stuff. We usually just look for, it's entertainment for us. It's always been entertainment for us.
It's always been entertaining. I like it.
Outside of, what was it, a few years back, you caught wind of who was it that blew up in the Texans when
Hopkins. Yeah. Well, everyone knew it was going to be good, but he really blew up. Yeah. And the Hard Knocks people that took a shit in the porta potty.
Yes,
that was incredible. Sean McVay almost threw up. This Dookie was so rancid. He yelled at the Hard Knocks people. That was awesome. Definitely my kind of content.
I cut that and put it on Twitter. That was the best.
Yes.
Like that. What's his face? Joey Bosa's thighs. Those. I mean, those things are like two people.
He's a very quiet guy too. You notice that? Like, you can never hear what he's saying. Just, Joey Bosa. I got lots of money. And the end to the second episode where they found out that the mad shitter is still on the loose. That's got my attention. That's riveting TV.
Yeah. So what did you think going from episode 1 to episode 2? Do you think, I really think episode 1 was like,
it was
nailed
good.
it. And then episode 2 was like, okay, it's not as good, but we're in it now.
Yeah, no, we're in it. And I really liked looking at Anthony Lynn, episode 1. Like, I didn't know a lot about him going into this. And just, his personality, the cigar, the barbecue, like, just a cool dude. Like, I
feel like where did he coach in college?
Oh, I don't know about college. He was in Cleveland before that.
Yeah.
As a coordinator, I believe.
Yeah, they went through his background. I just feel the way he cooks and his like coaching like style.
Yeah.
I feel like he comes from like the SEC.
Yeah. He's definitely
like almost a version of who was the coach for Louisiana with Burrow.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like those two like came up together in this like world in my head where they're like best friends.
Coach O.
Yeah, Coach O. yeah. They're just
in
like
this world in your head. These people
like
came up
they
together.
Kind of that southern.
Okay, Anthony Lynn as a player.
Yeah.
New York Giants, Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers. What was he though? What position was he? College, Texas Tech. And offensive coordinator, special teams assistant. Oh, he's a running back, former running back.
Okay.
For the Chargers. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, all right. And then a bunch of assistant coaching, running backs coach, assistant head coach. interim head coach, offensive coordinator, head coach.
So he cut his teeth as a running back and as a running back coach.
Right.
So where do we think Eckler lands this year with some?
Don't do this.
I don't think Eckler has nearly as good a year. Yeah.
I want to go on the record and say I do not support the hard knocks segment.
They tried to hype up
disregard
Eckler something fierce,
anything they
I'm
say.
not buying it. It's not Laserface anymore. It's Tyrod. I'll complete 12.2 passes a game, Tyler, or a rookie. So I'm good.
I like Eckler. It has nothing to do with.
Well, okay. So Eckler's strength last year was what? His receiving, his PPR, all that stuff. Do you think he catches nearly as many passes this year?
Yeah, I think he probably catches about 80%,
so 20%
of what he
less.
caught last year.
Okay. So that would be a no. You're saying he's not going to catch as many as he caught last year.
I mean, if he caught 80 balls last year, I don't think catching 72 is that big of a deal.
I think it's less than that. I don't know. Tyrod isn't just never been. I like Tyrod. He's a good veteran quarterback, but he's never lit the league on fire. Ever.
No, that math is wrong. It would be like 64.
I know the math is wrong.
Okay.
I'm just throwing out a number there, but I think he's still going to be super productive as a receiver, and he was a good runner. So I don't know. I think Eckler's probably a top 12 running back this year.
Late rounds. I've been pairing him like with Derrick Henry.
They are trying to hype
Josh Jacobs.
They are.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, I absolutely love the show. Love. I mean, it's starting to feel like football season, even though it's weird and we don't have preseason. Like, what is it? We should be looking at week 3 or week 2 at least of.
We're 17 days away, so it'd be week 2.
Is it week 2?
Something like that.
Yeah, so we should have had the first game, the Hall of Fame game already. Like there should have been, beers, wings, all of the stuff. Like we're missing that. MyFantasyFootballShirt.com is your place to get top quality fantasy football gear. Get yourself some merch from some of your favorite podcasts. Need some custom shirts for your league? Contact us today. Just go to MyFantasyFootballShirt.com. All right, so here's the part of the show where we put together 3 sets of players, 2 sets of defenders, and 1 of offense. We pair them against each other, see who we like, who we draft, who we'd put on our team, however, in comparison of the other player. Put it in a tweet, send that out, see what you guys think, and talk about it the week after. So let's go with last week's gut checks. We're going to start off with a pair of quarterbacks. We've got Arizona's Kyler Murray and Dallas's Dak Prescott with 177 votes. 69% Dak Prescott.
Nice.
All righty. So with that pair of these are edge linebackers. Pittsburgh's TJ Watt versus Tampa Bay's Shaq Barrett. I think you guys are going to like this result because 170 votes picked 87% TJ Watt.
Wow.
That shouldn't have been close.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It should have been further out. I'm shocked that 13% took Shaq Barrett over TJ Watt. That makes no sense.
All right. And finally, we got a pair of defensive ends that have some, questions around them. Jacksonville's Yannick Ngakoue versus the free agent Jadeveon Clowney with 182 votes, 76% Yannick Ngakoue.
Ooh.
Okay.
All righty, Johnny, you want to take us through this week's?
Sure. This first one was requested by Big Fat Bob in the Slack chat. Shout out Big Fat Bob. Okay, this year, do you want Fred Warner, who played and started 16 games, 89 solo tackles, 29 assists, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 5 QB hits, 3 forced fumbles, 9 pass defense, 1 interception, 1 touchdown, or Leighton Vander Ich mein Scheiße. Okie dokie. Who played and started 9 games last year, 43 solo tackles, 29 assists, 1 tackle for loss, 5 sacks, 1 QB hit, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass defense, no picks, no touchdowns. Give me Fred Warner, although I don't like it because he wasn't good till Quan Alexander went out last year. I just don't trust Leighton Vander Eschmeichizer's neck.
No?
Yeah, give me Fred Warner. I think he's the better player.
So what do you think about they're talking what is it, San Francisco, that Fred Warner might not start? You got the I'm blanking on the guy's name. You just said it.
Oh, Quan?
Quan's going to start.
Well, no, they'll both start.
But
yeah.
The
positions will be switched or whatever.
Yeah, there was some talk about that.
So, but
I'm not worried.
Okay, I'm not worried either. It's just I remember all these box scores last year, and neither Quan Alexander or Fred Warner was doing remotely close to what we had expected them to do until Quan Alexander went down.
Right, they kind of cannibalize each other.
Right, and then Greenlaw came in and he did great, and Warner did great for the rest of the year, which was weird. I don't know what was up with that. Maybe it was a time of possession thing those first few games. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I see it with Fred Warner. I'm also and I definitely think that Quan could, easily. He's I don't want to call him injury prone, but
no, he's injury prone.
Yeah, he's kind of on that list. So I could see something happening. Fred Warner, being normal Fred Warner, but I don't know. I like Leighton Vander Esch, even though you don't like his neck. I think that he's still a solid.
When he plays, he's great.
Between the two, I think I'd go with Leighton.
I think it's probably just going to be a runaway Fred Warner because people remember last year. But if you really think about all the factors, it should be closer.
Yep.
Anyway, next one, a pair of wide receivers that are from all the drafts I'm seeing going pretty close together. First one is A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans, 52 receptions, 1,051 receiving yards, 8 receiving touchdowns, 60 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 fumble on the season, versus Amari Cooper, 79 receptions, 1,189 receiving yards, 8 receiving touchdowns, 6 rush yards, no fumbles. This is tough. This is actually a tough one for me. I think I want A.J. Brown in Dynasty. I might want Cooper in redraft this year. Thoughts?
I think I want Cooper either way. Definitely concerned about adding CeeDee Lamb to that offense. But I think he's the better player. We have a better sample size from him. I'm just a little more, and I was an A.J. Brown fan too. But there's always this kind of drawback where you're a fan of a guy coming out of college. He does really well like you expect him to. And then suddenly, he's going in the second round, third round of startups. And you're like, okay. Maybe I don't like this guy as much as I did before just because I don't like the price.
That's
as much
true.
anymore.
The price is, it's up there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that could go wrong. I think that offense was extremely efficient last year. I think it's going to be tough to sustain that. I think that Tannehill played his best football, and we don't know whether he's going to do that again. I think that the running game was insanely efficient for a running game, and I think that that's probably tough to sustain. I think that Corey Davis also, in terms of EPA, played really well in that offense last year. So maybe not fantasy relevant wise, but in terms of expected points added, all of their options were pretty good. All of that kind of screams a bit of regression, although I would expect that he gets more volume. So there's just a lot that could go wrong there. And that's not saying fade A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown is really good. I think he's going to be really good. It's more just there are more opportunities for that situation to go wrong, I think, than for Cooper. I think unless Cooper gets injured, he's going to play, and he may not have the same ceiling as Brown this year, but I think he's the safer pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that I'm going to side with Sean here, mainly with the Cooper in Dynasty and redraft. And I don't really like Cooper.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of Cooper.
I don't have a lot of him. I've this year gone out and gotten some AJ Brown because you got to diversify and you got to have like all of these guys on all of your teams, like just in case someone goes off.
Yeah, in case the injury Grim Reaper gets your booty.
Right. Yep. So there's a couple leagues where I actually did AJ Brown and Hollywood Brown in one, just as a whatever.
Why not just
and then you can call your team the Brown Noise.
The brown spot.
Brown note, by the way.
Brown note, sorry.
Yeah. But I think I'm gonna side Cooper because of the price. AJ Brown is one that you have to kind of go and get.
Yeah, I've been taking Gallup at that price instead of Cooper.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I don't really have a lot of Cooper though.
No, me either. He's too inconsistent.
Yeah.
But whatever. We'll see what the people think. This one I'm very interested in because these are a couple of older safeties that have been around IDP for a minute, both extremely reliable, extremely consistent. Love them both to death. Love the second one a little more. First one's Harrison Smith of the Vikings. 65 solo tackles last year, 20 assists, 4 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 QB hits, 3 forced fumbles, 11 pass defense, 3 picks, no touchdowns. Or Jordan Poyer of the Bills. 71 solo tackles, 36 assists, 4 tackles for loss, 1 QB hit, 1 sack, 3 forced fumbles, 3 pass defense, 2 picks, 0 touchdowns. And traditionally, the Bills' offense has been a little bit worse than the Vikings. This year, I think they're going to be about the same. So it's a toss-up. But Harrison Smith gets dinged a lot, too. So give me Poyer.
I think I'm going Harrison Smith here. I'd have to check the contract details on this because I don't know how long Harrison Smith is under contract for right now. But I feel like they're going to be losing a lot of pieces on that defense, and it might just like keep him relevant longer.
I think you're happy either way.
Yeah. I side Poyer here, but it's definitely close.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the closest one. Yeah. All right, that's it.
All righty. So let's get to some listener questions. As always, you can submit questions via leaving a voicemail at 313-986-1473. The more obnoxious, the better. We love that. Also, now that we're on video and doing all this stuff, if you want to send us a video voicemail, send it to us on Twitter or whatever.
Nope.
I would just love.
You're asking for trouble.
To play one of those on our show. That would just be great. Also, you can tweet at us at IDP Guys. And then if you're a subscriber, join up at idpguys.org, get into the subscriber chat. The subscriber chat. Sorry, I don't know why I paused in the middle of that word.
Gas.
And you can ask all the questions you want to all of our writers. And honestly, that whole chat is taking on a life of its own. Like, I think at this point, all of the members are starting to answer questions more often than the analysts can get to them.
It's just a brain trust.
Yeah, everyone's just
idea exchange.
It's a very cool group. So, Jonny, why don't you take it away? Because I know these people are near and dear to your heart.
Oh, absolutely. The first guy is from Twitter at SteamingHotCarl1943 asks, what's your take on Budda Baker this year? Will he repeat as safety 1 overall in IDP? Sean, why don't you lead off?
I love Budda Baker. He's probably going to be a top 5 safety. He's not going to be safety 1 again. Betting on anybody to repeat as the number 1 at their position is just bad business. So for me, anytime somebody ends at top of their position it's a good time to sell because the odds of them doing it again.
What do you
are
think
not
about
good.
Christian
So if you can
McCaffrey
get-
doing it twice?
Yeah.
Still
You
not
don't
good.
think so?
Nope. I think if you can sell Christian McCaffrey at the value of the RB1, you absolutely do it. Unfortunately, when you get up into running backs and stuff, it's a little tougher to do that. People don't want to pay what Christian McCaffrey is worth. It's the same thing with Lamar Jackson and Mahomes in Superflex, where somebody puts him up on the trade block and you look at it, you're like, yeah, sure, I'm interested, but what are you looking for? And then they explain what they're looking for. It's like, yeah,
6
not
bursts,
happening.
your whole
So,
starting lineup, and
Yeah.
a hot dog.
Yeah.
Right. So I think when you top out at number 1 at your position, that's a good time to sell. Because it doesn't repeat very often. The exceptions would be, Antonio Brown. That
And the
happens
IDP
pretty
exceptions would be Patrick
Um,
Willis, Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner. Last 15 years, I think. That's it.
And I think
frequently. Yeah. And I guess
for running backs,
I'd have to look at how often they actually repeat, but I think it's a lot easier for linebackers than it is for safeties. So linebackers are a lot more situation dependent. Safeties, depending on the scoring, you're counting on the tackles, but to get you up to safety 1, you need the big plays too.
Yep.
You need some
Right. You need a league that pumps up pass deflections. Yeah.
Right. And the thing is I don't think that you're getting safety 1 value for Baker though. I think you should be, but you're not. Because I don't know many people that are going to trade Derwin James for Budda Baker or Jamal Adams for Budda Baker. I just don't think it's happening. So he's probably a hold. I think he's going to be a top 5 safety again. He's not as sure a thing as Adams or James for me, but he's going to be in that mix.
He'll be a safety 1, not the safety 1. So last year, a couple of things in his favor. Arizona did not have a run game. Their time of possession was 31st in the league at 27 minutes a game. Their defense spent a ton of time on the field. Larry Fitzgerald was their best target. On the defensive side, offensively, obviously Hopkins got added. Kenyon Drake emerged. Another year for Kyler Murray. The offense is going to be much better. Defensively, they added Devondre Campbell, Isaiah Simmons. They kept Jordan Hicks, even though he's made of glass. Baker's still there. They added Jordan Phillips after a career season in Buffalo. Things are just going to be different. More competition for tackles, less time on the field. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I like Budda. If you've got him, I'm keeping him. If you can sell him and get good players, I mean, you got to do what's best for your team, but go with it. Ride that.
Right.
All right.
I think we got one more.
Yeah, you got one more there.
All right. From Bella Check Yourself, 68730@gmail.com asks, I've seen a lot of people grabbing Darius Leonard early, massively early, like during peak offensive rounds, 3, 4, etc., and combined IDP, offensive drafts, startups, whatever. What's your take on that, and is it something you would ever do? Sean, fire away.
It still depends on scoring, but I think I'd be hard-pressed to find a scoring system where I'm taking him in round 3. It's not happening. Honestly, he's not even the first player I'm drafting. I am generally among the first people to take an IDP player. I try and do it around 5 to 8 usually. Basically, it depends on the league size. There's no way I'm taking Darius Leonard in round 3. It's just not happening.
So you guys ever watch Star Trek Next Generation?
A little bit.
You ever seen that episode, Cause and Effect, where Enterprise just keeps blowing up over and over again because they're stuck in a time loop?
I've heard of it.
It sounds like a Star Trek episode, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like they ripped off Happy Death Day.
Could be. Yeah. That was 80s, right?
No, Happy Death Day was like 3 years
they
ago.
ripped off Star Trek then. But yeah, I'd rather be stuck in a time loop like that where I have to argue with Sean about something than do something this idiotic. I'm all set. Thank you. So no, I
You
really do mean that. Okay, so a couple of things I found. Levante David in some of these startups is going 5 rounds later, according to our ADP at IDP guys, right?
Mhm.
There's only a 5-point per game difference using my scoring in Keene State, which is like, that's my home league. It's tackle heavy, but sacks are also worth a ton, and pass defenses and picks. Everything's worth a ton. It's 50-50 IDP offense, right? Linebacker's a flat position. There are tons of playable linebackers. If I'm going IDP that early, much like Sean, I'm going defensive line. Defensive tackle first, then defensive end. After the top 10 or 12 of those guys, it drops off a cliff because of the positional scarcity. Even guys like Bobby Wagner or Blake Martinez go a round or two later than Darius Leonard does, and you're talking an even smaller point per game difference. The last thing I noticed, Donald Payne last year, free off the waiver wire, 22.8 points per game, IDP points per game in the 5 games he started once he became the waiver wire darling. That's not even a 1 point per game difference between him and Darius Leonard, and you got him for free. So you can wait on linebacker.
So that's the other thing is like an edge player. If they get hurt, the guy replacing them is not going to be a double-digit sack guy.
Right.
That's not happening. So, like, you're very limited in the number of edge players that can be productive. Linebackers, you have a certain number of linebackers that are going to be productive. If those go down, they get replaced. If the edge players go down, they become even more scarce. It makes no sense to go that early on a linebacker.
So you guys are talking about Darius Leonard in the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've seen him go in the 1st.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about, are you in that league with Big 3 and like Sigmund Bloom?
Yes.
And, yeah. And they were talking about it on a recent episode.
I know.
Like the first round. And I get it. Like they said that, he was just kind of, I don't know, fucking the league up or something.
He wanted to get his guy.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
you got him.
In the first,
congratulations.
In the first round, like you could have got your guy in like the 4th.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the get your guy mentality. If you got to spend a first round pick to get your guy,
you go ahead and grab your guy. I'm going to get Tyreek Hill or Mixon or Chubb or Hopkins or Michael Thomas or whatever. So I counted real quick when I was looking at this for notes, 59 playable and relevant linebackers right now without counting rookies or what happens when injuries come in or coronavirus comes in. That's right now. By the end of the season, I guarantee you, there's going to be another 20, 30 that come off the waiver wire. They're going to be this year's Donald Payne, this year's Will Compton. So craziness taking Leonard that early, just pure craziness.
Yep. Alrighty. So, let's talk steak and salad. How's your week going, Johnny?
Good. So I finished Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. It was not as good as Wildlands, but it was decent. I'm playing GTA 5 right now. Cyberpunk comes out next month. Everson Griffin went to the Cowboys, so good week.
Nice.
All right, so steak. I guess this hasn't quite happened yet, but season 2 of The Boys is coming. I'm excited about that. Season 4 of Fargo featuring Chris Rock is coming. I'm excited about that.
Just for this, he's just coming on this season.
Yeah, it's an anthology show, so it's new characters each season. So I'm excited for those. Bill and Ted.
Yeah, that's coming right out, right?
Friday, I think.
I'm pumped. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be good, but I'm kind of excited for it anyway.
Speaking of Bill and Ted, not a whole lot of hate for my Keanu Reeves take. I got a couple shots about not liking Matrix and stuff, but I expected more hate out of our audience.
Well, that's just because people that like Keanu Reeves, we're just nice people, and we don't want to blast you for it on the internet. It's like, yeah, every once in a while you find a crappy person that likes Keanu Reeves and then they go bash you on the internet. But I'd say 90% of the good human beings in the world like Keanu Reeves. So you're skewing your sample there.
All right. Well, so my stake is getting to record in this new studio that we set up finally, and hopefully working out all the kinks and getting everything going for the week, each week of the season. So we are back to weekly recording. And once we start having actual football, we will probably be publishing our show a little later in the week.
Yep.
Johnny, what's your salad?
It was Gerald McCoy, but I caught a $150 ticket for texting and driving today.
Oh man,
And they got
that's
We're
points
lucky
too,
that's
though.
all it is.
Yeah, I think
It's
it is
bad
points. They
here.
got me red-handed. It was work. Sorry about the F-bomb. It
Yeah.
was work, with their, more's coming, with their, you got to take this call right now and you got to do this right this minute, that culture.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't even have our phones within reach out of
Really?
Minnesota. Like you can't have your phone in your lap. Yep, it's Bluetooth required if you're going to use your phone. So you have to have a system in your car
Wow.
to use your
yeah.
phone.
Out here, if you get caught 3 times, you lose your license.
Yeah, I don't know what the strike limit is here, but it's bad. I don't know. I don't text and drive anyway, but and luckily I have Bluetooth available. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. My salad is that this microphone is super sensitive, and now I got to record with no AC, and it is hot as balls right now.
Yeah, you totally took mine. It's been really hot out here lately.
Yeah, it is.
You get to use your AC.
Oh, we get to use
You don't get
Admiral
to
Pike in
complain.
here. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Not just Captain Pike. We got Admiral
God.
13,000
I'm just dying
BTUs
right
of
now.
Admiral Pike up in this massive overkill.
I'm gonna make a trip out to visit you guys just so I can burn your place down and come back.
We have
here.
video evidence of a confession.
Well, that's all right. My portable AC would put the fire out immediately with all 13,000 BTUs.
Oh my god.
All right.
What's up, guys? It's Josh,
Adam,
And Bobby.
here with the Big 3 IDP podcast. And if you've never listened to our show before, here's just a taste of the insanity that you will get week in and week out with the Big 3 IDP podcast.
skunks are so cute.
We just ate White Castle at like 10:45 at night.
I tell you, one I liked about it a little bit more was Jeffrey Simmons.
Ooh, did you say a Bartman, like Steve Bartman? I don't like Bartman in Chicago this year. He's going to catch too many foul balls.
You know it's all about getting real and getting down to business and getting down to the facts.
Slide 'em in, slide 'em out.
It's right.
So, if you would like more of the shenanigans that you just heard in these little snippets, be sure to subscribe to the Big 3 IDP podcast wherever you get your podcast adding. Listeners are guaranteed to have a good time.
Hey, you can't afford not to do this, baby.
That's right, baby.
Jonny The Greek.
Alrighty, so we'll do this a little early, but last year, if you all remember, I was exactly 17-17 on the year picks, so not terrible, but not good either. So right in the middle, right?
The Jeff Fisher of
picking.
yeah.
So we'll try and do a little better. Okay, so week 1, a couple games I like, although I like it less after these injuries. Eagles -6 at Washington. I think that's a pretty easy cover, even without Barnett and Hargrave. What do you guys think on that one?
Yeah. I think
The other one I
Eagles
like
beat 'em
is
by
Steelers
6.
-3.5 at New York Giants. If Roethlisberger plays the whole game, they should certainly beat them by more than 3.5.
Yeah, I don't think the Giants are that good. I think Daniel Jones is very overrated based on
Neither of those
his play
prices are
last year.
great because they're obvious picks, and obvious picks don't have great prices. But whatever,
Yeah.
throw them in a parlay. That makes your price better. There you go.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. With that, make sure you follow us on Twitter at IDP Guys. Individually, I'm Nate Cheat. John is at OrangeMan3142, and Sean is at Lanny1925. Subscribe to the show. Just a reminder for everyone that we're no longer on the IDP Guys feed. We are on the Dynasty Trade Calculator feed. So if you go to the website, idpguys.org, there are links on the sidebar for iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, RSS feed for the podcatcher of your choice. It'll take you to that feed so that you're getting those, all of their episodes that includes ours. So you'll never miss a show. You also get the added benefit of some of their shows because that's how we're doing it. While you're on idpguys.org, make sure and become a subscriber for as little as $1 a month for the year, or $1 a month over the year. You get access to ADP data for rankings. There's some tools, the subscriber channel. Go for it.
I'll do this. All right. So we have the subscriber chat where you have access to basically all of our writers all the time. You ask a question, we answer it. We have rankings, ADP. We have combined offensive and defensive ADP, which is huge. You can't get that many other places. And Morgan does a great job collecting all that data. We have access to the magazines, and Nate, you got any other tools you want to talk about?
Coming for this year, and there's 3 years backlog right now of all the snap counts for defensive players. Man, we're building more stuff. I'm working on creating more and getting more out there for you guys to just dominate your league every year. So definitely, I would suggest to get the magazine level subscription. That gets you the magazine every year. That gets you both of our sites, idpguys.org plus dynastyfootballdigest.com, which Sean is wearing the shirt for. And then, you never miss out on anything. It's just a recurring, and bam, there you go. Always get it in. Get those magazines. There they are. Look
at that.
They are.
Burrow and Chase Young, 2 studs right there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And we've got more magazines possibly coming next year. So It won't just be the rookie stuff. It'll be, even more that'll just be added in. No extra cost. Right in there. So
and starting week 1 of the season, we'll have start sit charts, IDP dudes positional rankings each week that are updated as injuries happen, as position changes happen, as we find snap counts. I'll do the monster. You'll get the monster every Thursday, I believe.
Nice.
All season long. That'll cover you for literally everything IDP related on this planet. We just got you. We got you across the board, and I'm the one that crafted the porta potty on Hard Knocks.